this time?
What are you talking about? We're totally recording. We didn't shoot half a video before realizing it wasn't recording. Okay, it was just
Happy Fursuit Friday, everybody!
Happy Fursuit Friday!
So, we've been watching a bunch of Batman content. I had thought The Batman had just come out on home media. Apparently it's been out for about a month now. But, yeah, we just watched The Killing Joke, and before that we had watched...
Whoop.
You okay?
Yeah, there was a mutant hand. I didn't mean to have my mutant hands out. There you go. I watched The Killing Joke Part 1, Tsukonko Part 2, and then we just
But
told
The
each
Killing
other
Joke
they're
Part
done.
1.
Oh! I screwed up the movies. Okay, look. We watched
The Dark Knight Returns.
Aren't nights typically dark? Because there's no sun out.
So, yeah.
Except for Damien.
Neither of us had ever seen any of these, though we had seen, some clips on the internet before. But yeah, thought it was really cool. I found out this scene is actually in The Killing Jokes. That was cool. But yeah, so first of all, we're going to talk about The Dark Knight Returns. Definitely...
No, shouldn't we talk about because the release order was Killing Joke first?
Okay, I guess
well,
you're right.
I mean, if you want to talk about the order, we watched it, Dark Knight Part 1, then Part 2, then Killing Joke. I wasn't pushing to see Killing Joke because I've already seen it.
Oh, you had?
Yeah, I had seen it.
I
already.
thought you hadn't seen it. Oh,
No, I told you before.
That.
I didn't want to watch it before because I had already seen the movie.
Oh, okay.
And Tsukonko hadn't seen it, so I was like, I'd rather watch movies that neither of us had seen.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
But then also,
I like doing that too.
Yeah, so but
I also like watching movies that I really enjoyed that you haven't seen.
Yeah.
But in any case, I thought it would be appropriate to watch this and be able to show off the book there, and figure it would be better to have something fresh on our minds. While the other movies are a little bit on the not so fresh, but hey, they're all really good.
Okay, so yeah, well, let's just do it in the order we watched it then.
Yeah, there you go.
We did first day we watched.
That's Part 2.
Dark Knight.
Part 2. That's Part 2.
It says Part 1 right on the cover. It says Part 1.
Oh, it is Part 1. My bad. Okay. So, this one actually was fairly interesting in that Batman gets a female Robin assistant there.
Yes.
You can see her there. Just kind of an interesting case. A young girl idolizes Batman. Who has suddenly come back after retiring for some time. And there is a gang that is taking over the city called the Mutants. They're not actually mutants, as far as I can tell.
Themselves. Yeah.
But their leader is a bit of a non-human, I guess.
The leader does seem like he might actually be an actual mutant. And some of them have pointy teeth, but that's something that can be done with dental surgery. So,
but in any case, the first movie mostly focuses on Batman fighting off against these guys, as well as Two-Face returning.
Yes, and if you had seen, what was that? The episode of Batman the Animated Series where all the kids gather together and tell their different
they
ideas
basically
about
based off of this.
Yeah, one of them basically tells one of these stories, and it's very, very similar. And obviously,
Indeed.
because it's done
based off of that.
Yeah, it's based off of that,
comic.
so it had the same art style, the same plot. It was just like a really condensed version, and this movie is the full-length version of that child's story.
Indeed.
You know what I like, though, is that this young female bird idolizes the Batman.
Indeed.
What do you think about that? It's a little Robin. It's a little birdie.
But yeah, I thought that this was very well done. For not being the highlight of the Dark Knight Returns story that people are familiar with, I still thought it was very enjoyable. It's been on the long. It felt longer than it was. Maybe I'm just remembering both of them together.
Ooh.
But yeah, I can hardly say that I've seen many Batman animated movies that I thought were bad.
I haven't seen any that I thought were bad, just some that were less interesting. Obviously, there has to be a scale.
I mean, I don't know how to compare this with The Long Halloween, which we reviewed before.
Yes.
Parts 1 and 2, which is So that kind of seems equal to compare them.
Yeah, they're doing the Pokemon treatment, splitting one story into 2 movies.
But yeah, The Long Halloween felt like one continuous story.
Yes,
with
Long Halloween.
one through line of trying to catch this killer, whereas this one was had separate antagonists, and the other one had separate antagonists.
Yeah, it was 2 separate stories that
focusing on the same period in Batman's life.
Yeah, it's like if it were a TV show, it would just be 1 episode and then the next. So
that's fair.
They are connected. It's not like they're not. They are definitely connected, and events from one do lead into the other.
Indeed.
But it is, you could watch just one or just the other and not really miss anything plot-wise.
And interestingly enough, Peter Weller voices Batman.
Yes. I can't remember if he voiced it in that. I think in that episode I referred to earlier was Michael Ironside. But it's in this one, Peter Weller. I was like, that sounds like Peter Weller, but I'm like, I can't really think of a cartoon voice he's done off the top of my bird brain. But it ended up being Peter Weller. I was like, oh my god, it was RoboCop.
Yeah,
that was the RoboCops.
And you're a huge RoboCop fan.
I love me some RoboCops, the good ones, not the bad one with Kinnaman.
They're bad ones.
Okay, there's only one. You know what? I didn't much care for. There are some. Okay, you know what? To be totally fair, there's some RoboCop content that is not good.
Oh.
Mostly the Joel Kinnaman movie. No offense to him. He did a fine job. Okay, but I'm getting off track.
Yes. So, he plays Batman in this, who is a much older gentleman, and
yes, he is.
I believe in this one, Commissioner Gordon knew who he was.
Yes, Commissioner Gordon knew who he was at this point.
Which is different from The Killing Joke, where he did not know his identity.
Yeah, and there are other storylines. I mean, the comics have gotten to the point where Commissioner Gordon not only knows who Batman is, but even filled in for him once or twice. So, I like the take where everybody, like, close to him just knows it's him, because over time, they're going to figure, even if he doesn't tell them, they're going to figure it out.
That was kind of the annoying thing watching the DC live-action series. They seem to be giving away their secret identity to everybody.
Yeah.
It's who doesn't know that Barry Allen's the Flash?
I like the...
come on.
The Justice League episode where they all had to take their costumes off. And he's like, are we sure we want to do this? Or I think it was the Flash was like, didn't want to do
Batman points out, it's like Clark Kent.
Yeah.
You know, what
he was in that continuity, it was Wally West.
Wally West, Clark Kent,
and Diana Prince.
Diana Prince and Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, I really like that, because he's just like, look, there's no point at this point here.
Like, there should be no secrets between us.
He knew who they were anyway.
Yeah,
I love that. But anyway, that's a very Batman thing.
But of course, the best one of those is when Lex Luthor switches bodies with the Flash. It's like, well, at least I can find out who the Flash is.
I have
no idea who this is.
Yeah, I love that. But I see there's a lot of iconic moments from the previous media. And while these are great stories, I don't have like one scene that I'm really taking away from the movies. There's not like one scene like, oh my god, that was so awesome, I'm gonna repeat it and quote it. Like, they're fun. I mean the movie was nice, but it was definitely very serious in tone. And that's fine. But I didn't have a lot of takeaways.
The big thing about this one was the Joker and Superman were the two antagonists in this.
Yes.
A lot of Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice.
Yep.
Right. Was largely taken from this this story.
It was like a worse retelling of this story.
Yes, agreed.
Even if you like the movie, you gotta admit this one did it better.
So yeah, Michael Emerson actually was the voice of the, I believe it was the Joker. If I'm not mistaken, I don't remember who voiced Superman in this. I'm pulling the wrong one. Comparing the credits here, I should have remembered to do the research before recording. So Ariel Winter seems to have been Batgirl. Let's see, David Selby is on both of them. Mark Valley. Mark Valley then must be Superman.
I am Batman.
I'm not sure who that is, but anyhow, it's an awesome story. basically, Superman is contacted by President Ronald Reagan. At the time, he's the president of the United States.
It's an older story, so.
And he basically says, this Batman is causing too much trouble. We want you to, either get him to stop or take care of him. And so that's how they end up in the conflict with each other. And they have the big drag out fight that you've always wanted to see done well.
Very well.
Without having like Wonder Woman or what was what did Lex Luthor introduce in that movie? It was did he resurrected Zod's corpse or something? What was that?
You're talking about the Dawn of Justice?
Yeah, what was the thing that he made?
He took...
Was that Apocalypse?
No, that was Doomsday.
Doomsday.
He made Doomsday out of Zod's corpse.
Yeah, which didn't make any sense whatsoever.
I hate it. It was just a way to speed up. They wanted to speed up the storyline.
Yeah.
And they just cut all the corners they possibly could and made a lackluster product with almost no flavor.
The first half of part 2, he's facing off against the Joker, who has basically, if you've seen the Joker, there's a very big reference to that. This story was made in that, where the
Conan
Joker
O'Brien.
goes. Oh yeah, that's right. Conan O'Brien plays him.
Voiced the talk show host.
Yes. So in the Joker, I believe it was.
It was
Robert De Niro.
Yeah, that's it.
Robert De Niro plays the talk show host that the Joker goes on. In this one, it was Conan O'Brien who voices him. Things go a little differently than in the Joker, but it's similar case of, hey, we want this guy on our show. He's, this big sensation. We know he's this crazy, guy. And, they think he's sedated or he's going to be okay because he's got a therapist with him. But, does not go well, of course, because it's the Joker. And, he ends up running into an amusement park, this time while it's active as an amusement park. And causes a bunch of chaos. And, Batman is actually, for the first time, in a long time, Batman is not working with the police. At the end of part 1, Commissioner Gordon steps down. He retires, and a new person takes over, and they do not approve of Batman.
Yeah.
So
they call in
throughout the whole second
artillery.
part, they're trying to stop Batman. They're not wanting to work together. So there's a lot of really interesting fights where they're trying to take him out, and Batman's just trying to take the police officers out. He doesn't want them to die. He just wants to incapacitate them. But they're out for blood. They don't seem to be holding back at all.
Brother blood.
No, he's not in this.
Oh.
But in any case, it was pretty gruesome. Definitely want to say these are R-rated. Killing Joke. Oh, really? PG-13. These are somehow PG-13, but Killing Joke is R. Although I don't think it was nearly that much difference, in my opinion, other than implied things. We'll get to that in a minute.
I think it's because of the cartoon violence. I mean, that's why you get PG-13. It's like the old... you could add a certain amount of violence. I think they only even got the PG-13 rating because of the blood in it. But it's still just animated violence, and it doesn't. It deals with
action, violence, and some suggestive content.
Yeah.
Some intense sequences of violence and action. That's what those say.
Violence and action isn't enough for a strong rating when it comes to animation. If they had made it with live action actors, it would have been off.
Okay. So on to the Killing Joke. Killing Joke is rated R for some bloody images and disturbing content. Again, I don't really see what makes this one more severe than the other two, but in any case, Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill are back.
Yes.
Tara Strong also has a role as Batgirl somehow, and Ray Wise is in this. Is he Commissioner Gordon? I think we said, right?
I think that's what you had seen during the
So
credits.
yeah.
And Bruce Timm does a voice in there. They always manage to sneak him in there somewhere.
So in any case, yeah.
You want to show the comic? I want to show the comic. Sorry, you keep talking. I wanted to show the comic book cover. It's a very iconic comic book cover. A lot of people know this without having even read. I never read the comics, I only saw the movie, but I thought this was really cool. We're going to do this the low-tech way. This is the Transformers take on it. This is from All Hail Megatron. And it is Megatron holding up Reflector, which is 3 different Decepticons that combine, or maybe 3 of the same Decepticons that combine to form a camera. So they did this they did a whole thing. So I got really dark. I had to get really close in there because I tried to test the image thing earlier and it corrupted the video. So.
Oh no!
So it's like, I just thought it was really neat. Like, it's just a nod to it. The comic has no mirroring of Batman at all. It was just, they like doing these neat
parody covers.
Yeah, and that's all it was. They do a lot of them still. Yeah, there you go.
So yeah,
I like
in The Killing Joke, there is a few different things that have been used in other places. The Joker's origin story is suggested in this, although he does say that for his backstory he prefers multiple choice.
Yes.
So it's not necessarily definitive. The story that he tells in this isn't necessarily his actual origin. We may never know quite how the Joker ended up the way he is canonically.
Yeah.
But yeah.
This movie is regarded by a lot of fans, or the comic even is regarded by a lot of fans as non-canon.
Oh. Okay.
So, I mean, it depends, because there's so many different universes.
In this story, Joker expresses that he became the insane killer prince of crime from having just one bad day. One bad day is all it took to turn an ordinary man into a psychopath that he is. So he tries to do the same to Commissioner Gordon to prove a point, and to do that he cripples Barbara Gordon.
Yes, he cripples her?
Yes, he shoots her, and is it implied that he violates her too?
It is implied that he at least made it look like she was violated.
I mean, he took some very, very naughty photos of her and showed them to.
He definitely did some things. How far he took it, I think, is left to your imagination.
So yeah, like I said, this movie is rated R, but nothing explicit is shown. There's even a sex scene between somebody else and the Joker, but like no naked anatomy is shown.
Yeah.
Just implied, outright stated that sex happened.
Yes,
so I guess that seems to be the only thing that seems to be making this movie rated R, in my opinion, compared to the other stories where there's just a lot of graphic violence and death.
Yeah.
The first half of the story was a little disappointing in that there's like this no-name guy that's the antagonist compared to the other ones where it was like, yeah, we've got this gang of called the Mutants, and we've got Two-Face, we got the Joker, we got Superman, all like other than the Mutants.
A lot going on.
But even the Mutants are at least interesting to look at, even have a carryover to the second half of the story.
Yep.
Where they show up as a force, still have a forceful presence in the story.
Yeah.
Whereas this character, this mobster guy, who wants to take over, and kind of has the hots for Batgirl, like. Who is this guy? Why should I care?
I like the story, but
he's kind of unimportant. But
it does feel that way. But I still like the story.
Yeah, I mean, it serves just as a good setup for Batgirl's character, I guess. But at the same time, if this were Robin, it would be Two-Face, and he'd have reason to want Two-Face dead because Two-Face has killed his parents and all this, But this guy is just, a chauvinist pig who, hits on Batgirl and is like, oh, hey, call me. And it's like, oh, okay.
And at the end, he gets his ass beat and goes to jail.
Yeah, that's it.
And,
yeah.
But then,
for him, anyway.
Then the next story, that's really where we're at. It's just the Joker does these terrible things to her.
Mm-hmm.
He captures in the same session. He captures Commissioner Gordon, and tortures him by showing him pictures of what he did to Barbara.
Yeah.
And trying to shake his resolve, and he doesn't really totally succeed. He does shake it.
Yes, he is definitely very disturbed, and it takes him a while to snap out of it. But once Batman rescues him, he tells him, take him out by the book.
Yeah, because he wanted to show Joker that, the typical police way could still prevail. And then we learn by Batman's actions that he doesn't really agree anymore.
Now, the part that I think I'd heard about this.
I did want to say really quick.
Yes, what's
when
that?
They did, they've used this theme of Barbara Gordon getting shot in a few things. They made it into the canon comics. I mean,
she becomes Oracle.
Yeah, she becomes Oracle in the main line. So
she's the woman in the chair.
Yeah, they take that idea. And they even did it in Birds of Prey, which is an old CW show.
Oh, I thought you were going to spoil the other one.
No. In the CW show, the same thing happens. She gets shot by they make it look like the Tim Burton. You know what? It doesn't matter. Okay. The idea is she gets shot by the Joker, and the same thing happens. She becomes Oracle. And the Joker is, one line. He has one line, and it's voiced by Mark Hamill.
Oh, wow.
That was really
cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I still need to see Harley Quinn and the Fantabulous Birds of Prey, or whatever the title is. I can't remember. But yeah, I have it, but that's one of those ones that's been on the back burner.
I'm not big on Birds of Prey, though, because I am not a bird of prey, and I would be the prey.
Anywho. So the ending of the Killing Joke was very, very strange. Batman, basically defeats the Joker. He's unarmed, and he's like, "All right, do what you're gonna do. Kick the crap out of me like you usually do." And he's like, "Not this time, Joker."
Yeah.
And then Joker tells him a joke.
Yeah, an actual just regular joke.
He just starts smiling and laughing, and that's where they cut to the title.
Yeah, I know.
And then there's a post-credit scene showing, Barbara becoming Oracle. But it's like,
that's the whole thing.
Is that the Killing Joke?
That's how it ends. Is that it's ambiguous, but there are clues as to what likely happened.
Okay.
Some people point to the reflection in the puddle.
Yeah, I didn't see that in the animation. It's probably only in the comic.
Yeah, I think the most damning piece of evidence is that you hear them both laughing. And as the camera pans away, you only hear Batman laughing. So the implication seems to be, at least to me, that yes, Batman killed the Joker. And that's why he's no longer alive. He did find amusement in the joke, but then he also realizes, this is how it ends.
Yeah.
So, I think that's what happened. You could read into what you
want. That's the way I think I remember hearing that supposedly the story went, is that... in this iteration, that's what the Killing Joke means, is it was the joke that went so far as to make Batman cross the line. Similar things happen in another story there where the Joker died. In fact, kind of interesting how many times the Joker has died in media. A little surprised for, as long as the story I've known is, the Joker is like this yin to Batman's yang. He'll always be around, yet there's so many times where he's been killed off. There's at least 2 movies we've seen in the video game verse. In the Batman Beyond movie, he died.
Yep, he's shown to have he died sometime before
I swear there was at least one other instance that came on. But yeah, the Joker is constantly getting killed off in various media, but yet they're always implying that he's always around.
Well, so you just skip to another universe where he's still alive.
Yeah, indeed.
But in every universe where he dies, he's found a way to let himself linger. Let his essence linger. So you can see that in the Arkham Asylum
I still need to finish playing Arkham Knight. The Batmobile sequences really trip me up. And I just have not gotten around to playing that one again. So I'll have to play that one again sometime. See if I can't actually get somewhere in there. But from what I understand, Joker haunts him throughout that one. Yeah. He's been dead since the second game, but in this one, he's just in his head.
In
he sees
his
them everywhere.
head.
In his head. In his head. In his head.
I don't
I don't know.
Yeah, we're not allowed.
Okay. So anyhow,
I'm a
do we
bird.
want to try to rank them at all? Or give them
No,
a
I don't
score?
like. I
Yeah.
don't really like ranking.
Yeah.
Because I've seen some other YouTubers do it, and I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, I've seen it. I love some of these. I love it. I've seen other furry YouTubers be like, we're going to compare these two movies that are worlds apart. Here's one that's incredibly beautiful and philosophical, and here's one that's a garbage action movie. I like the garbage action, but no. I mean, that's fine. They would rate it. I don't like it. I'm okay with saying what one I personally like better, but it's by no means at some sort of empirical scale. As long as that's stated, I will say that I did like The Dark Knight Returns more.
Which one?
Part 2.
Part 2,
because
yes.
I did lie. There actually was one scene that I thought was, or sequence, that I thought was particularly fun, and it actually did stick with me. And it was the showdown with Superman, how that whole thing played out. It was brilliant. Superman actually you think that it would just be one-sided. I mean, in reality, yeah, it would be one-sided. Superman would just zip around him so fast and punch a hole through him. But they found ways to make it interesting and believable within universe, and I love that.
About the only thing I thought was really weird in that one was when Superman got nuked and he ended up becoming like a zombie skeleton-looking thing.
Like skinny,
I was
he had
like,
to recharge.
what the heck was that?
He was like when Pac-Man got disheveled. And usually he dishevels the ghost to go. You know, in the old cartoon. Oh my God!
I have no
Doesn't matter. In the old cartoon, he used to get, if he got hit by the ghost, he would get all disheveled instead of dying like he did in the game. They've stopped doing it because it looked too freaky.
Okay.
And that was a big cartoon circle. This one was Superman, and it was so weird. And it's like, does that happen to him? Does he shrivel up? This is the only continuity I've seen him just shrivel up.
Yeah, that was real. It was really strange.
That was bizarre.
But otherwise, I thought that movie was phenomenal.
Yeah.
The action, the graphic violence was really great.
Yeah. Batman is not super indestructible.
I mean,
he takes a few hits here and there.
I definitely think that the recent movie, The Batman, was really good with some of that stuff.
That
but it also dragged on a lot.
It did, but that's one of my favorite.
It was a long movie. It could have been split up into two, like this one was. But
yeah.
I don't think it should have at the same time.
I think it's better as one, and I think overall it's probably one of, if not my favorite live-action Batman movie.
Wow.
Because
it
has a good balance of detective work and action.
Agreed. That is one of the things that I definitely will agree 100%. The Batman finally shows Batman actually doing detective work and figuring things out. He's not, even though he's considered the world's greatest detective, he's not perfect.
Yeah, he's not perfect.
He makes mistakes. He struggles to find the answer. He's not like the Adam West Batman where he just throws two things together and figures out the answer. In an absurd fashion. Yeah. That was one thing I'd never cared for.
Alfred would just come in and give him the answer.
Yeah, Alfred definitely was helpful. One
does not laugh good. One laughs well. That was one of the clues that Alfred had to decipher in the old show. And the Laughable was a company. Like, Batman couldn't think of that.
Okay.
Like, there's a company that has the word laugh in it. Do you think the Joker's attracted to that?
Yeah. That was one of the more ridiculous things.
We should watch, we should rate the animated Batman movies that take place in the Adam West universe. And then,
I mean, I do have Batman meets Two-Face.
Yeah,
I don't have the other. I don't know what the other one is, but I don't have that.
Yeah, the other one took place first.
But I did watch that. I might have reviewed it on this channel already. I've also seen the Batman the movie, the Adam West movie that they did.
Mm-hmm.
Which one I thought was pretty enjoyable. At the time.
It was a lot of fun.
I would have if I reviewed it on the channel. It was with Lionel, who was a big fan of the series. So I was likewise with the Two-Face movie, which took place in Adam West's universe. But yeah, I think that's about it. We enjoyed all three movies.
Enjoyed all three.
But I definitely think we're in consensus. The Dark Knight Returns Part 2 was the best of the three.
Yeah, that's the one I found most enjoyable overall. Killing Joke was very well scripted. I mean, it's based on a very popular comic.
It had a few little moments,
yeah,
the tacked-on sex scene that didn't need to be there.
Yeah, but it's just it meant more than that. I would disagree with that. It didn't need to be there.
Okay, well, I don't remember when this came out. There was a lot of complaints about that moment.
The gist is that that movie, like I said, I like a balance of action and detective work. That movie was mostly detective work. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. And I know Batman's a detective, but I really like when there's more of a balance, and I felt like Killing Joke didn't have that. And it's great on paper, but I think cinematically, it's a little less interesting. So that's all.
That reminds me, I think Killing Joke actually did have a theatrical release.
Yeah.
I think it was like a limited theatrical release, which is extremely rare. I think only the first live animated Batman movie, Mask of the Phantasm, got a release.
Oh, that was a great. Yeah.
I don't think any of the other Batman movies have gotten a theatrical run except for that one and the Killing Joke.
You mean the animated Batman
movies?
Yeah, that's probably it. Okay, well, I think we said all that can be said.
Yes.
So,
this coming Tuesday, I have my 1,000-day anniversary of being Tsukonko the Fanda.
I think it's kind of weird. What are you gonna do when you hit the 3-year mark, which is gonna be a little bit after that?
I don't know. I think a year is fairly arbitrary. 1,000 days seems fairly noteworthy to me.
I feel like it's the other way.
But in any case, it'll also be close to the end of Pride Month, so I think we ought to try to get together our thoughts on what we thought of the Pride Parade we attended a little while ago. Hopefully we can upload some of the footage we took to the channel as well. But yeah, until then, thanks for tuning in. We'll be streaming more of Teenage Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge on Transient Player's Twitch channel. So be sure to tune into that. I'm trying to get back into streaming more on my channel. Last time I was playing Mega Man X4. I'll probably be trying to finish that at some point. So hopefully that'll be happening soon as well. Yeah, we'll see you tonight. Bye! Happy First Friday!
Yeah!
You alright? Bye!
Bye!